In this video, we're going to be doing an unboxing and review of the new Ridgid 18-volt hybrid propane heater. Now, the awesome thing with this heater being a hybrid means not only can you plug it into your outlet in your shop, but you can actually use your 18-volt batteries that you use in your power tools from Ridgid to power the system as well. So let's say you're out on a job site somewhere and you don't have a power supply. Maybe you got a tractor broke down out in the field somewhere. You can actually take this heater with you, plug in your tool batteries into it, and be able to power the system. So it gives you great portability that you don't get with other heaters. Now, the other thing I like with this as well in terms of their advertising is it has a brushless motor technology, as well as they claim it has the lowest producing sound in its class. So we're going to try that out. Now, I've had other torpedo style heaters before. The problem you run into is when you turn them on in your shop or your garage, they make so much noise you got to have hearing protection in order to be able to use it. So today we're going to unbox this unit. We're going to see what's inside, what it takes to put it all together. Then we're going to go through, we're going to see how much heat it produces. We're going to see what the noise level is like. And then I'm also anxious to see, let's see how long it runs on the battery so we have an idea on what it will do there. So let's not waste any time. Let's dive into the box. So let's see what we have here. And just to give you an idea, this is what the packaging looks like when you initially open your box and with your heater inside of there. And I'm going to kind of lay this down a little bit so you can see as things come out what we have here. Now it would appear that we can just kind of work it out a little bit. I'm going to grab it by the handle and we'll remove it that way. Now inside of here it just has the foam to help hold it in place. We do have an instruction manual here for it as well. I'm going to set that off to the side. Now we'll stand it up and see what we have here. Now on the back I see we have here's our propane line, so we're going to just lift this up a little bit, take this off. Well packaged, it's well insulated inside there, so that keeps it from getting damaged. So let's take a look at the heater. I like the size of it. It's not real big. The other heaters I've had are much longer than this, so they take up a lot of space in the shop. And here's our heater. So the system's pretty lightweight. It's not real heavy. I can easily lift it with one arm. Also on the back side here, it also has some instructions that are attached to it, as well as, you know, the typical warnings and things that you'll get with these things. And it's got like a little slit in there that they just rest in right there. So it does come with our manual. We have our heater. And then let's dive into this box here. They certainly like to make sure they're well insulated in here. Now I'm going to have to get a pair of snippers. They have this one end here tie wrapped, and we'll get to that. So we have this end here that goes into our propane tank. Initially, one of the things I don't care for this has the actual female thread, so it actually goes into your propane tank as opposed to going over the outside of the thread of your propane tank. So I think that may cause you some kind of issues down the road, but I don't think it's going to be the end of the world. But there you can see that fitting there. So like on your gas grill, your fitting is designed as such so it goes over on your propane tank. This one here goes into that outlet on your propane tank. So now the only other thing we have to do is we have to connect this up over onto our fitting here. So I'm going to go ahead and get that done. Let's get it out in the garage, hook some propane up to it, and let's see how it does. Let's get you closer up to our heater now that we have it unboxed. I do have the propane line hooked up now, so we're ready to plug it into our propane system. And there is a picture of our on-off button, our igniter, and our temperature control. If I flip it around, lift this up. You'll see there is where our battery will plug in and just our electric plug-in as well. So we got the heater out here in the garage now, and we're ready to do some testing. Now, I went outside and I got our outside thermometer and I brought it in here and just used a magnet, hooked it up here to my garage door. You'll see right now we're about 42 degrees in here. So as we do our testing, we'll be able to keep an eye on that and see how much temperature rises here in the garage. Now, I have a brand new propane tank that I picked up the day I picked up my heater here. So this is full, it's brand new. That way we're starting fresh with the tank there. I have our heater here. And what I did is I took one of my batteries. And by the way, this battery is about 8 months old. This is a battery that I use, just in the spirit of disclosure, so you know, but I did put it on the charger. It's fully charged. It has all 4 lights on here on the indicator and it's ready to go. And we're gonna be putting that into our heater here. So the point of our test here today is we're going to put the battery in the heater. We want to see how long the heater will run on high with the battery. And then during that time, what we also want to monitor is how much the temperature is going to go up here in my garage. That way we can do a fair assessment of how well this heater will do. Now, I should also let you know, I have a standard 2-car garage here, and I have as you can see, I have a insulated steel garage door. My walls are drywalled with insulation. However, my ceiling is all open with no insulation up there. I got to get to that one of these years, but it is open, so I lose a lot of heat coming out the top. Just wanted to give you some more information in terms of being able to assess things for you. If you have an insulated ceiling in your garage, your results will be much quicker and much better than what I'm going to be able to get here today. But I just wanted to let you know that. So what we're going to do is we're going to hook this up to our tank. We're going to get the battery put in. We want to see how long it's going to run on the battery, how much our temperature is going to go up here in the garage, and then we'll be able to assess and see if this is a heater that'll work good for you and for me for that matter. I also have my non-contact thermometer here, and while it's doing these different tests here, I'm also going to take it and I want to do some tests along the front of the heater and that and see what kind of temperature readings we're getting out of it, so that we can be able to go ahead and do a good and fair assessment with this. So let's get this hooked up and let's turn it on, see how well it does. Quick safety tip here: when you're using these type of heaters, you always need to make sure that you're having the proper ventilation in your work area. Now in my case, it's my garage here. So what I always do is you make sure and crack open your garage door about 4 to 6 inches so you're getting fresh air in, and then I open up my back door so I'm just getting fresh air that flows through here. Now I know that seems kind of counterproductive because you're allowing fresh cold air in the room. However, these things will build up carbon monoxide, which can be very deadly. So you always want to make sure you're getting proper airflow and fresh air into your garage or your work area. So crack open your garage door, open up a back door, make sure you're getting fresh air in here while your heater's running. Now most all of you here watching this video know how to hook up your new heater to your propane tank, but for some of you that are out here watching this that haven't done this before, let me show you how to do it. It's kind of easy. Now you'll see you have a pull tab on here. What you'll do is you'll just kind of grab that and pull on that, and it kind of tears it a bit, and then this comes off here. Now one of the things with propane tanks, and a lot of people don't know this, is you have 2 adapters. You have an outside thread on here, and this is kind of when you hook up your gas grill, it goes on the outside and it threads over it. Now with this, you also have internally, you also have threads in here. Now with your new Ridgid heater, it threads into these. However, here's the funny thing with these. Your outside threads here, what's called a right-handed thread, meaning to tighten, you'll turn it to the right or clockwise and it tightens down. When you're dealing with the internal threads on a tank like this, they're left-handed threads. So to tighten down, you have to turn counterclockwise. So here's our adapter that hooks into our propane tank. So what we're going to do is we'll just take that. Let me move this back a little bit. You'll just kind of set it in there and you'll hook this in, and you'll just start turning that counterclockwise, as you see here. And it's already starting to catch, so we're in there, and you just want to go ahead and tighten this down. Like so. Until it pretty much comes to the end, and you'll be able to feel it. And just like that, we now have our tank is hooked up, and we've tightened it down real good. We want to make sure we don't have any propane leaks. Now, when you turn on your tank, naturally, the easiest thing you can tell is, do you smell rotten eggs? You'll naturally smell that horrible propane smell. If you smell that, turn this off. Do not turn on your heater. So we can go ahead, turn on our tank. That's completely on. We have no leaks. We're now ready to turn on our heater. Let me show you how to turn on your heater, because it's super quick and easy to do. So you'll set your heat to your desired setting. We'll just turn it all the way up for this case. You have your on-off button here. This here is your pilot button. So you'll press your on-off button, give it a second. Once it starts up, then you'll just press and hold your pilot light for like 5 to 10 seconds. Let it go, and you're up and running. So we'll press our on-off button. You'll hear that starting to click. We'll just press and hold. Give it about 5 seconds. And there you go. Thought I'd show you some temperature readings and do some examples for you. So if we shoot up inside there, why the heater is going. So it does get pretty hot. Naturally, as I move it, it's going to vary, but as you can see, we're around 500 degrees there. If we go a little further out, big temperature drop once we're out of that combustion chamber area there. So our battery finally died. And we can see now that with the 18-volt battery, the heater lasted 2 hours, 7 minutes, and 8 seconds. And it looks like we raised it about 18 degrees in here. So let's talk of some of the upsides and downsides of this heater. I have it on right now. It's on high, actually. And I'm standing probably 2.5 feet. 3 feet at best, not even that. Here I'm 1.5 feet away. It's putting out a lot of heat, but it doesn't have a really forceful fan. It doesn't have a lot of forced air that comes out of it. And so if you're used to like the old propane style heaters where 15 feet away, 10 feet away, you're going to feel a lot of heat from the unit, you're not going to get that from this type of unit. Now, I was really impressed with over 2 hours of battery time to be able to work the heater. However, I think if you were really trying to heat your entire shop with it, you may be a little disappointed with this heater. I think where this heater comes in and is great is if you want to take it with you, maybe move it around your shop while you're working on your saw, while you're working on that one part of the car, and you can have it close to you like I have here. I'm very warm right now. I can feel the heat coming to me, but if I step back even to here, it's funny because now I can no longer feel it on the lower part of my body. I feel it about from right here up. And if I take another step back, I can feel no warm air being blown on me. And I'm about, I would say, 6 to 7 feet away at this point. However, if I come to here, I can feel it just a little bit up here towards my face. When I come to here, I can feel it about waist level. And then naturally, if we come closer, and you don't want to be stupid about it, but I can feel it about where my knees are when I get that close. So not a lot in terms of forced air, but it does put out great amounts of heat. As you saw, it raised up our degree in here about 18 degrees in this cold garage that has a non-insulated roof over the course of about 2 hours. Now the downside to that is it's also going to go through the propane for you. I used about half of a tank of propane over the 2 hours, and at $20 a refill, it cost me about $10 to do that test there. but it would cost me about $10 to heat up my shop over the course of 2 hours. So it could get pretty costly in terms of doing it that way. What I think this heater would do best for you would be to turn it down, have it at a lower setting, but keep it closer to you so that you're warm wherever you're working. Don't depend on it so much to heat up your entire shop or your garage, but count on it to heat up the area that you're working in. And I think by doing that, this will be a fantastic heater. I'm impressed with this heater overall. I wasn't expecting it to be like my other heater in terms of heating up the whole garage in 10 minutes, but it doesn't have near the noise. I don't have to wear hearing protection to be working around it. It's actually pretty quiet. And once again, like I said, standing where I'm at right now, it's putting out a lot of heat. I need to take my jacket off. It's really warm here. So you can use it. It just has its, like any tool, it has its certain applications that it works best for. So in my opinion, to heat your entire garage with it, you probably wouldn't be happy with it, especially if it was a colder day than today where it was 40 degrees in here. If it had been like 20 degrees in here, a really cold day, then over the course of 2 hours and for $10, I would have raised it from 20 degrees to 40 degrees in here. That wouldn't have really helped me much. But what I could have done with the heater, and I could immediately start working and not be cold, is turn it down to a lower setting, set it over by where I'm working, and allow it to just heat the immediate area that I'm working in. So all in all, I'll give this heater about 4 stars. There are some things I don't care about it. I don't like the way it connects into the propane bottle. I wish it had the fitting where it went over the outside as opposed to the inside. It's far easier to do that one. The battery life is super impressive. Starting the heater is very easy. Once again, it's quiet, it's real portable, it's got a long line to it. I've used it a few times, being able to do things like, and what I really like is being able to take it outside when I'm doing some stuff in the yard or I'm doing something on a car out in the driveway. Super easy. You throw the battery in it, take it out there, set it by the car. The other day, the boys and I, we went up to the range. It was pretty cold up in the mountains. Nice thing is, threw this in the back of the car. When you get up there, put a battery in it, set it out there, you got heat. And when you're out there out in the open, it's nice and warm. You don't have to wear tons of layers. It's great for those kinds of things. So all in all, I would really recommend this heater to you. I think it's something you should really consider. I'll put a link to it down below in the description for you so you could go and look at it for yourself there. They're available at Home Depot. Do me a favor, if this video's been helpful for you at all, hit that like button for me. Just let YouTube know that you appreciate my content. If you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button and stick around with me here in the garage. Thanks for watching.